A shoplifter was arrested during the Shop with a Cop event. A crocodile died after being thrown into the Alaska snow during an argument between brothers about anime. Ancient barbarians took drugs before battle, according to archaeologists. This is Weird AF News. These are the weird segments for this episode of Weird AF News. Thanks for joining me. I'm the host, Jonesy. You are you, and you're a superstar. A shoplifter was arrested at Walmart's Shop with a Cop event. This guy shoplifted among a whole crew of cops in the Walmart. And I can kind of relate. I also like to sometimes play games on the hardest difficulty level and see if I can pull through. This took place in Virginia, Chesterfield County. The police have been left very, very surprised and stunned after a suspected shoplifter decided to steal in the middle of the Shop with a Cop event at the local Walmart. Chesterfield County police officers and sheriff's deputies were at the annual holiday event at Walmart, where they were helping children pick out some gifts for the holiday season. It's quite a lovely thing that the police do sometimes in certain small towns that do the Shop with a Cop. I wouldn't mind shopping with a cop. I just got to pass the breathalyzer first. You know how that goes. Okay, so moments later, officers had to put aside their Christmas cheer with the kids in order to stop a crime that was going down. Here's a quote from the police lieutenant, James Lamb. He said, "A member of the staff at Walmart came up to us and informed us they had a shoplifting in progress. Between the sheriff's department and police officers, we had a total of about 50 uniformed personnel on the premises in the store. Law enforcement spread out pretty quickly to look for the suspect. As we approached from different directions, the suspect tried to escape out the back of the store where he was apprehended. I think he was stunned, but we were also pretty stunned." Yeah, it turns out the shoplifter was unable to outrun the police officers due to the size of his huge balls. I mean, the balls on this guy, really. The size of the cojones on this guy. He probably thought there was like a strategy to it, you know. How about I shoplift in the middle of a store that has 50 police officers? They'll never expect it. You know what I mean? People do have that mentality. Or maybe he just does it for the thrill. You know what I mean? Some shoplifters, they don't even need the goods. Like, didn't Winona Ryder get arrested for shoplifting when she was already a multimillionaire at the time, and I believe she just did it for the thrill or some kind of rush. This is the ultimate rush to shoplift in the midst of all of the local police force. It says here the suspect was caught and identified as 32-year-old Hector Velasquez Maldonado. He had warrants out for his arrest for failure to appear in court on a previous charge. Can you guess what it is? Shoplifting. He likes it. Hector Velasquez Maldonado likes it. He enjoys it. And he's going to be charged with grand larceny because he attempted to steal $1,400 worth of items. Sadly, he's not going to be able to embark on his neurosurgeon career. The big brains on Hector. It's a bit of a step back. Hector's like, I would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for you meddling kids and those pesky 50 police officers that were right next to me. A pet crocodile died after being tossed into the Alaska snow during an argument between brothers over anime. Sounds more like a Florida story. Did you know that Alaska had its own Florida men? No idea. Alaska, I guess, is like Florida on ice. Stories out of Anchorage. A pet crocodile has died, and two brothers are facing some charges after getting into an altercation in Alaska that involved their respective exotic pets, according to the state troopers. They say 33-year-old Tyler Lowe, 30-year-old Ricky Lowe, Tyler Lowe and Ricky Lowe. Yeah, of course, they're up to no good. They were taken into custody and charged with animal cruelty and assault. This all follows a bizarre encounter that turned pretty violent between the Lowe brothers, which probably isn't the first time. In case you don't know, alcohol is the number one sport in Alaska, so I've heard. There's not much else to do. And when you drink a lot, you eventually throw reptiles at each other during an argument about anime, apparently. Troopers say the argument stemmed from a disagreement regarding anime. So, and that seemed to escalate. I don't know what anime they're arguing about. Let's keep reading and find out. I'm actually a fan of old school anime, so maybe I can relate. Maybe I can take a side of one of the Lowe brothers. I never thought I'd say that because, you don't want to admit that you're going to ever take the side of either Tyler or Ricky Lowe from Alaska because you know what they're all about. So Tyler Lowe allegedly tossed his younger brother's pet alligator out of an apartment window and into the snow, prompting Ricky Lowe to do the same to Tyler Lowe's pet crocodile. So one of the brothers has a pet alligator, the other has a pet crocodile. I don't know how you keep a pet in Alaska. That heating bill must have been enormous. Today I learned that apparently you can have pet crocodiles and alligators in Alaska. I mean, I had no idea this was allowed, although Alaska seems to be kind of like the Wild West. It's very much frontier land. You can kind of probably do what you want up there. Let's keep reading and find out if the pets survived. And maybe they'll mutate after being tossed in the snow. Looking forward to the Ice Croc film. You guys know? It'll be like the sequel to The Thing, which also took place in an icy environment. I love that movie, by the way. Okay, so police say Ricky Lowe called the police on his brother, Tyler Lowe, after Ricky Lowe and his 2-year-old child left the residence. Troopers allege that Ricky Lowe was driving while intoxicated as well. So Ricky drove drunk with his 2-year-old after the residence. I didn't want to report my brother's being a jerk. Me and my kid we're driving to the station right now. We want some protection. And he threw my crocodile in the snow. Ricky Lowe's alligator pulled through, thankfully. Oh, good. Good thing the alligator lived. It appears Tyler Lowe's crocodile didn't live. My goodness. Well, one of these reptiles is better acclimated to the snowy environs of Alaska, it would seem. So at least we know that. Is science going to get on this study? Not that you even need to do a study at this point. You could just read this story, and now we're learning what sort of reptiles can be kept up there. Will pythons survive up there? I'm asking for Florida. Neighbors in the same apartment complex. Can you imagine these neighbors, what their life's like? They got to live with Ricky and Tyler Lowe and all of their antics. Pet alligators and crocodiles and probably some meth. Neighbors say they saw law enforcement arrive on the scene. Matt is one of the neighbors. He said that multiple state troopers were present and searching for the missing reptiles out in the snowy wilderness. Here's a quote from Matt, the neighbor. They go, "Have you seen an alligator run past here?" And I said, "You guys are kidding, right?" Imagine that. You live in Alaska, the cops come up to you. "Have you seen an alligator run by?" Well, I mean, if you're living adjacent to these two brothers, you probably already knew about these reptiles. These maniacs probably took them for a walk. Matt has more of a quote here. He goes, "No, I'm a state trooper. I wouldn't kid about something like that. I really want to know. Have you seen an alligator run past here?" Matt says he didn't see any of these exotic animals at any point in the night, and after living next door for a month, he never even knew that they were there, he claims. No, what's probably going on is he, like everybody else that lives in the building, is completely frightened of the Lowe brothers, Ricky and Tyler. You don't want to cross them. It says the police located and rescued the alligator, but were unable to locate the crocodile and suspect that it died from the cold exposure. Ricky Lowe has been charged with DUI and child endangerment for allegedly driving away from the argument while under the influence with his son in the car. There's a lot going on here between Ricky and Tyler Lowe. It's very much like Trailer Park Boys situation going on up there. I mean, these brothers have a combined IQ that's less than the temperature in Anchorage. Okay, it says both men will be arraigned. No mention on what the anime argument was. I'd imagine it was something like, do you think Spike Spiegel could beat Guts? Or something like that. Are you guys hip to these references I'm throwing out there?
From your fryer to the table, it's a quick trip for crispy fries. But how about a crosstown delivery? McCain SureCrisp fries are designed to go from fryer to container to carrier to passenger seat across town during rush hour down a shortcut that wasn't all that short to a doorstep before they hit the table. And that first bite, the crispiness speaks for itself. To the last bite, McCain SureCrisp fries. Go the distance. See how far our fries can take your business at surecrisp.com/delivery.
Ancient barbarians took drugs before they went into battle. Barbarian warriors in ancient Roman times may have used some stimulants, it turns out, in order to aid their performance during battle, according to a new study. The practice is suggested by small spoon-like objects fitted to the warriors' belts that have been found at various sites in northern Europe. This was a study that was published in the Journal of Prehistoric Zeitschrift. Prehistorische Zeitschrift. It's a journal. I don't know if you guys read that one. I read it all the time on the toilet. It's some compelling stuff in there, I got to say. The authors conclude that the spoon-like fittings may have served as dispensers for stimulants for the Germanic warriors going into battle. Yeah, it's called a sniff and slash, where you do a little sniff and then you slash with your lightsaber. In antiquity, the term barbarian referred to non-Roman peoples, often from tribes or cultures outside the territory that Rome controlled, such as Germanic, Celtic, and Hunnic. Is it Hunnic or Hunnic? I'm not really sure. Compounds with stimulating effects have been used by humans for millennia, in case you don't know, sometimes in war for the purposes of alleviating the fears or increasing your alertness. Yeah, I mean, it's well known that American soldiers in Vietnam were on the drogas, and many of them came back with addictions to various stimulants, various drugs like heroin and methamphetamines. It's no surprise to me to learn that early warriors did the same thing. I mean, where do you get the energy to rape and pillage for a week straight, or to march 11 days into battle across a bog? This is the kind of stuff they were doing back then, so you need a little assistance. They were like, men, let's pillage now before the crank wears off. Raise your swords. Hit your crack pipes. Hold. The article goes on to say, while there is significant evidence for the widespread use of narcotics in ancient Greece and Rome, the same cannot be said for the people living in the, quote, barbarian lands of Europe, who were traditionally presumed to have made little use of drugs other than alcohol. Well, yeah, I mean, the alcohol we've known about, though, right? Because, beer balls, that's a term. We still do that. We still get, guys get all hopped up on the beer and fight. I don't know about you, but I've been watching a lot of TikTok videos of very drunk NFL fans fighting at stadiums. It's very exciting. Here's another quote from the authors of the study. We therefore ask ourselves whether the consumption of stimulants in the barbarian world of the Roman period was indeed absent, for while ancient sources inform us about the widespread drinking of various alcoholic beverages, which is also confirmed by archaeological finds, they are silent about the consumption of some other stimulants. And in our latest study, the research team identified and categorized numerous small, spoon-shaped objects found at dozens of northern European sites dating to the Roman period. These primarily consisted of marsh sites and graves in Scandinavia, Germany, and Poland. The objects have handles attached to either a concave bowl or a flat disc, measuring 10 to 20 millimeters across. While they were attached to belts, they do not appear to have played a role in the functioning of those clothing items. And therefore, we are suggesting that these barbarian warriors may have used these spoons to measure the right amount of a given stimulant. And now you're probably wondering, as I am, what sort of stimulants were available for these German peoples during the Roman period. And they say likely they would have had access to a wide range of substances capable of providing some stimulant effects, such as poppy, hops, hemp, henbane, belladonna, and various fungi. These could have been consumed in liquid form, dissolved in alcohol, for example, or in powdered form, and sniffed. Little toot, and then fighting. Yeah, this makes sense to me. I can't fight sober in a war. I'm just going to walk away. I'm just going to walk away from the battlefield. But maybe on some stimulants, maybe I'll be into it. But certain drugs would make me walk away too. Like if they say fungi in here, if I'm taking mushrooms, I'm not fighting on mushrooms because I just can't be around negative vibes when I'm on mushrooms. I'm really sensitive to the negative vibes. Sometimes I'll be like at a party on mushrooms and I don't know anybody, but I can sense when people aren't cool, or like not a good person. It just gives you like this extra sixth sense of some sort, at least for me. Like one time I was at a party, I'm like, oh, that guy in the corner. I'm like, I could just tell he wasn't a good guy, And then I was found to be right. I asked my friend, I go, what's up with that dude in the corner? And they're like, oh yeah, that's Seth. Yeah, crypto scammer. I was like, I knew it. I freaking knew Seth was a crypto scammer because I was on my powerful mushroom. And then there's also certain stimulants that just make me want to dance too. So I don't know how useful that would be if you gave like if you passed out some like Molly to some barbarians. I don't think war is going down. I think there's going to be some hugging and some dancing, and maybe they just start talking to each other about their feelings. And then I would just spend hours just touching the fur that I was wearing if I was on Molly as a barbarian. I'd just be like, oh man, feel my vest. Oh, isn't it cool, right? Oh yeah, it's woolly. Feel this woolly mammoth. This woolly mammoth hat I have, and I don't think they had woolly mammoths were extinct by then. Well, I never said I was a historian. Come on now.
Oh, Pod Daddy.
The Subaru Share the Love event is a fulfilling way to get in a great vehicle and support a great cause. When you buy or lease a new Subaru from now until January 2nd, Subaru and its retailers will donate a minimum of $300 to charity. By the end of this year's event, Subaru will have donated nearly $320 million to charity. Visit Subaru.com/share to support a great cause today.
Good luck with your life, man.
Hello, my dear friends and loved ones, listeners and supporters of the Weird AF News podcast. Thank you so much for spending some time with your buddy Jonesy and my show. Hope you had a nice weekend. I want to give love to Josephus. Josephus bought me coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com. Josephus is a Roman soldier, so probably used a lot of stimulants before battle as well, I'd imagine. Josephus wrote me a lovely note, too, when Josephus purchased some coffees for me. He or she wrote, I like my news like I like my coffee. Weird AF. Side note, Jonesy, you tried to pronounce some place like that guy singing in that old Enigma song, so now I am typing this while listening to a dude go, oh, I vaguely remember that song, Josephus. Like, that's the part I remember. I don't remember any of the other parts, but I always thought that was funny, that part in the song, so I used to try and imitate it. But it's been a long time since I've heard that song. Maybe I should re-up with that one. I'm glad you appreciate my terrible singing and screwing up lyrics on songs, as I often do. But then there are times when I get it all right, and those are big wins for me. Anyways, I appreciate the coffees. You can buy coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com, just like Josephus, the famous Roman soldier. And that's a good way to support the show during the holiday season. As you know, Michael from Iowa City is going to match all of the donations that are made to myself/Weird AF News during the holiday season leading up to New Year's. So if you make a donation through my website, weirdafnews.com, you can do so by clicking on the PayPal banner, the Buy Me a Coffee banner, or the Patreon. Michael will match $1 for everybody who does such lovely gratuitous activities. If I may spin some poetry right there for you. Anyways, if you'd like to email me, it's funnyjones@gmail.com, and my phone number is 646-450-2012. Instagram is @funnyjones, and you can go there. Make sure you follow me, and you can see what kind of upcoming stand-up comedy shows that I have. Maybe I'm coming to a place near you, and we can meet, and we can share a drug spoon. Just kidding. I mean, kind of. What do you got?